Everybody, Tony Lewan. I am at 2024 Futurist. I am with an extremely well-known person in the crypto industry, the co-founder of Ethereum, and we'll talk about some of the other stuff that Anthony has done. But Anthony, welcome to 2024 Futurist. This is not your first rodeo here.
Thank you. And I saw that you avoided saying my last name.
I did. Is that terrible?
I saw it. Iorio.
Iorio with that Italian accent.
That's right.
Anthony is not only co-founder of Ethereum. Anthony's got about, what can I say, a dozen crypto-based or blockchain-based programs that you've got running around a little bit.
Not quite that many, but heavily involved in crypto for over 12 years now, and constantly building the space and focusing on just building, not much else in terms of marketing or sales or things like that. Just trying to, how could I provide value in the space to help other projects thrive.
I briefly met you 2 years ago. I know I'm just a blank face. I'm not that pretty face that you remember. You were just kicking off the Cube. The Cube was an interesting aspect because it was going to redefine the internet space. Let's call it that, really, or it was going to redefine the Web3 space. Cloud
computing, yeah.
So give us a little, because I know 2 years ago you were just getting it ready, kicking it off. Where are you at with that right now?
Sure. So the project's called Anjami. Another highlight to my Italian heritage. Andiamo. Let's go, but the I makes it plural, so let's go together is kind of the name of that, and it's two things. It's a hardware device that enables people to be self-sovereign in terms of their digital life and not giving all their information to other parties, and running something in their home where they can facilitate their own digital transactions and run their own full nodes for whatever chain that they want, whether it be Bitcoin or Ethereum or others. So it's a hardware aspect, and then also a protocol that enables people to share those resources to help facilitate what cloud providers usually do, and things like Amazon AWS, third-party providers that are hosting way too much decentralized tech like Ethereum's nodes in their systems, which doesn't create the safety that I think decentralized tech.
It's my own server. It's my own. I own it. I do what I want with it. I create what I want with it. It's mine.
There's a concept to me of this Web3 user-controlled server where it's user-controlled internet, where you're in control of your money, your communication, and your identity. But if you're passing off the server to a third party, that's not you in control of the server. So our idea is that people can run their own little boxes akin to PlayStations or Xboxes that are plug and play. You run a full Bitcoin node, a full Ethereum node, you send your own transactions to the network, and you're now not reliant on cloud providers that are easy to use, but also holding way too much control for technologies that are supposed to be decentralized. So our thinking is that there should be an alternative whereby people can run their own machines, their data is private, their data is not be giving out to other people, their user information is private, they can send their own transactions, and then can you take those resources and share your computer in a global network and be rewarded for running nodes like Bitcoin nodes and Ethereum nodes and other nodes that help those technologies become more decentralized. So it's a complementary project to help other technologies thrive. And that's where we think is the way to do things. If you can create more wins for other projects, they'll join you in what you're trying to do. And we want to be very complementary to other technologies rather than being competitive.
Right now, is this out now? Can I just go and order one, or is it very in beta testing with just
so where we are right now is there's a whitelist for Anjami. There's about 90,000 people on it right now. The first aspect is the distribution of the token. The token is going to be the mechanism in order to, when you're running nodes, you get rewarded for running nodes. So there's a game that we're facilitating that involves a physical player kit. So the whitelist will enable you to sign up to get in line for a player kit. Player kits are physical boxes that come with various puzzles inside. There's a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. There's a AI-generated book. Each page has different puzzles. There's a video game. There's player cards like Pokemon cards. Each one is chipped for authenticity, so they're provably authentic each piece, including the kit. And by solving the puzzles, you're unlocking the tokens, which are then used on the hardware.
So, it was a beautiful kit. I remember it was leather bound.
I've got it actually here. I should have brought it. I've got it actually over there. I'll show it to you after.
I'm gonna list in. We're gonna dub in.
No, it's a very cool, solid kit that you create the character. Your character now becomes the figurehead in the entirety of the game. So every puzzle is your own personal puzzle with your character. The book is generated around your storyline of your character. The puzzle cards, every piece is actually tailored to the individual user and the player in the game. So it's a very kind of physical, digital realm that's a collectible, and that's what you're buying into is actually this game.
So something like this could become that crazy, you know, NFT if you want to call it, or it's not an NFT.
I call them NFPs, non-fungible digitals. So they're physical digital goods that are actually unique, one of a kinds that are physical that we ship to you. And then by you unlocking them, that's how you get your tokens.
And I was stupid enough not to order one because I was off.
No. You're not too late for ordering. The whitelist is still open. You can still join the whitelist.
When would I be able to get one of those cubes if I were to get on to, or not the cube, but the
So the gaming kits are the first aspect of to get the distribution of the token. The second thing is the cubes.
Okay.
So right now, what we've done is over the last year is we've built something called As You Wish. As You Wish is a software platform that you input what you want and it will plan and execute what you're asking. So it's building on Diami. It's a platform to build platforms. So imagine going to Google and typing in, a simple request. It will not only give you the request, but it'll also execute any problem you have. So imagine entering in As You Wish, build a project called Anjami. Anjami's goal is to decentralize cloud compute, and involves having hardware, boxes, and a protocol to do this. Generate a plan in order to carry that out. So As You Wish is basically a system that will give you how tall is the CN Tower, all the way till I want to build a project called Anjami, which involves physical and digital, map out how to do that, and then carry it out.
How technically minded does somebody have to be, or is it something that
the whole idea is that
it's a
genie in your pocket that you can actually, the genie does all the work for you. So it'll create your sales team, it'll create your marketing team, it'll create the research to go find their salespeople, it'll actually reach out to them automatically. So it's creating digital agents to abstract away the functions of businesses into digital components that don't need people.
So the generative AI
There's many aspects to it. It does images, it'll do videos, it'll build websites, it'll build code, it will solve and answer your questions.
Is it a learning system? So it's learning you.
It's learning you. It learns by what you're interested in, what you're doing.
Right.
It creates agents in order to actually, with different skills and subsets of different information, to program to create skilled workforces that are completely digital. And the whole concept is around, I don't want to have a big team, but I want to create maximized customizable outputs with minimal inputs. So with Anjami, there's a lot of customized components in the products physical products we're building. And that takes a new type of thinking of how do you create tens of thousands of player kits that are completely unique. Each one is different in terms of the color of the leather, the color of the box, the color of the inside.
Right.
The characters are individually created by the user, which has to be implemented into the book. So I've got a full bookline press, puzzle machine. All this is being built internally. And if you tap it with your phone, each piece is actually authentically verifiable as unique.
Yeah,
so we're creating a product that will be the game. And the game is used on the cubes. The hardware will be part of the second phase.
Okay. We're gonna show those. I'm gonna put those in the video, and I'm gonna put the links and everything else, and we'll take a picture of that together.
Yeah,
I'll throw that on there. I want to talk about Anthony in the early days.
We got to fake having our coffee.
I know. It's actually good coffee.
Cheers.
It's I want to know, because I always look for the disruptors, the crazies, as I want to call them. Somebody who's going to change the world, in a good, positive way, obviously. Where was your thinking back? Let's even go, forget Ethereum. Let's go pre-Ethereum. What were you thinking? What was in your mind as a teenager, as, getting up to school? And, I read a little bit about you and, in a couple of companies that you started, and your dad helped you out on a couple things. You're a Toronto boy, born and bred, just a couple blocks away from here.
Still am.
Still am.
All my business is here. I haven't gone offshore. I haven't gone overseas. I'm doing what I can.
But you've made a major change. There's one change. You used to always be in a white t-shirt. What the hell happened?
I got a little bit more heavy set, and white doesn't cover it. No, I've gone into my blue and silver years.
Okay.
So
are we gonna change the color as time goes on, and just
possibly? Possibly. Right now I'm in my blue phase.
Okay.
Blue doesn't hide the sweat marks much better than silver or white, so blue works for me really well.
I've got a black.
My cars are blue and silver. So it's my uniform. I don't like to make decisions. I just put this t-shirt on and put my jeans or shorts on.
You are in your late 40s?
I'm 49. I'll be 50 in January.
So I've got you by a few years. Just I know you got a couple of kids, and how you still have
I got my hair. I just shave it off. No, I have all my hair.
Oh, do you?
I just shave it off. Yeah.
Okay,
My hair is great.
I have an 11-year-old, and I want to pull my hair out every day.
Not me. My kids are wonderful. I got a lot of great help, and I'm actually in a good.
They become. Look at the kids now. They become crazy smart at a young age. I mean, have you got yours are probably already swiping and doing and
no? Well, yeah. I mean, I've got a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So
my little one at 2 took the phone and he would go through in pictures and he learned right away. It was just like a natural thing.
There's a natural thing, I think, of generations being able to advance with certain skill sets that, as a computer person, I always had. But you see changes of kids growing up with the new technology that do advance their skills faster than I think what even a generation that is technically inclined is able to do. I think
one of the things that I see really, really heavy is that the kids now in school, they're not learning the stuff they should be. I mean, you got to agree with me on that. What's in school right now? Okay, the basics are fine. The camaraderie with the other kids and everything else, but the actual content. I
don't know much about what's going on in schools. All I know is that I didn't like school, and I have a private teacher for my kids. I full time. I found a teacher that I put out the criteria of what I was looking for, and I have a full-time private teacher that works with my 3 kids.
Are you going to lead them into the computer world that you've done, or just kind of see where they go into?
I'm going to see where they go with things. I think technology is a little too early right now for children of my age to actually be focusing on, and I think it's more about communication skill sets. It's more about exploration. My teacher drives, so she's able to take them out. Like yesterday, they went to the fire station, and the fire stations are open up for kids to come and do it. So I want them to go beyond the 4 walls of a school and be able to explore things that they want. And I want to develop and define that curriculum. And for me, it's based around leadership and problem solving. So I'm trying to build. My personal mission in life is to build the next generation of leaders and problem solvers. That's my personal mission.
I saw that. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Well, it came about because when I was exploring what problems the world has, it's I think due to a lack of virtuous leadership and advanced problem solving that creates better wins for more people. So that's my skill set. So I think I have a duty to give what I've done and what I think to the next generation so they can solve the problems that they want. I don't care about climate change as being my problem. I care about having enough people that can tackle the problems they want, and me helping to nurture the children, nurture people towards thinking that there is deficiencies in current systems.
What's your target age for that you want to see?
Problem solving for me, it's across the board.
Across the board.
There's issues I recognize in finance. Every sector has an issue, mostly driven by profit incentives, which creates deficiencies of stakeholders that don't feel that they're a part of solutions. And when they don't feel they're part of solutions, they rebel and they try to think, how do we do it differently? So my goal is to bring together those people along with the incumbents and say, let's figure out solutions that we can all work together that everybody's winning with. And if we have that mindset and understand that there are solutions and we can create efficiencies, removing bad things, we can create empires that everybody's working together instead of the typical bell curve of empires that have always been through years. So I think we need more virtuous leaders, and everything I do is based on principles. That's my guiding benchmark. If it doesn't align with my principles, I don't do it.
Yeah, sure.
I don't take other people's money. I fund all my own stuff. I build products that don't collect user information and use people's information. So that's, if I can show how it's worked for me, which it has, not give people guidance and advice. And here's what worked for me. If there's any value you can get out, that's great. I'm not here to give you advice, but this has worked for me. Here's how I do it. And if I can relay that framework to others, I'm hoping that there's going to be an attachment to that, and we can build better leaders and problem solvers to solve biggest life problems.
I mean, we've got 7,000, 8,000 people, 10,000, whatever is going to show up here. You know, everybody's got these different mindsets. You know, what do I do? What do I want to do? How do I get involved in, these different variations of the crypto Web3 world and AI? And I speak to a lot of people, as I'm sure you do, and nobody really has direction is the problem. They're kind of just floating around and trying to figure out, they heard that crypto is going to make them a millionaire overnight.
Because I'll cut you out, it's because they don't have a plan, a life plan. And I told on my keynote that the whole thing was starting out with, you need a plan. What is it that I'm driven by? Why is it driving me? And what am I going to do in order to facilitate where I want to go? You start with that plan. Then, and you start with where do I want to be? And then it's about piecing it all together towards that end game. That's what I've always done. So if you don't have a plan of like, what's your mission in life? Why are you doing those things? What are your core values that you adhere to? I think that's like a very important step to figure that thing out. And I'm hoping that I can actually make that a really important part for children growing up is like, you know, why am I here? Why am I doing things? And what am I going to do that's going to help to be in service to other people? I'm hoping that's going to be what I can instill.
I mean, I tell people, take the gamble. Be ready to fail 400 times because it's the 401st time that's going to get you where you want. But, you know, I find, you know, you're a community builder. You are, I know that because especially, you know, you're setting up a local community. You've been in the community all this time. You've supported these guys. I know most of the people you've supported, and you know that's a very rare case with a guy like you. Normally you become a global philanthropist and you've kept to your roots here and everything else. Do you find Toronto as being probably a hub for our industries, these AI and metaverse?
I think it's been a hub. I think there's unfortunately a lot of needing to go outside of Canada to facilitate what people want. With Ethereum, we didn't set up here, unfortunately. It came out of here.
I remember.
But we had to go into Switzerland to feel a little more comfortable with
the legalities.
The expedition. No, but not just the legal, but being expeditious with how we want to set things up and work with the local government. So in Switzerland, they work with cantons. Cantons are local regions, and you can actually work with a canton very rapidly to do what you want to do. And that's why we did that. There was just too much uncertainty here with what we wanted to do with Ethereum. So unfortunately, we had to. You know, if people say, where did Ethereum come from? I think a lot of people will still say Canada, but most people will say Switzerland. And that's unfortunate because three of us were from here. It came out of here.
You guys are on Queen Street here, just down the road. King of Spadina is
where we started out.
I saw some of your old whiteboards that were set up in that office. Remember
all about the whiteboards.
And all about the whiteboards. And you guys were just kind of putting your little heads together, your coffees, beers, whatever the hell you were doing over there. And, you know, spitballing, I'm sure, just sitting around, and next thing you know, you've got one of the most largest cryptocurrency or platforms that ever existed. Speaking of that, Satoshi, any ideas? Who is this guy?
No idea.
No idea.
I don't really care.
Okay, that settles that one. Let's talk about your global growth.
And I don't want to say that in a way that I don't respect what he's done. It's not about that. It's about just if you didn't want to be found or you want to hear, then I'm not going to pursue it. It doesn't matter.
Could be dead for all we know.
It. So if he didn't want to do it and that's the way he did things, I respect his privacy and the way that he did things. With Ethereum, we decided that we need to be public, and that's why we had to be very cautious with how we did things. The trust and transparency in crypto is very important, and I've always been a big proponent of I need to be out there, and I can't be hiding behind something. So I don't disrespect what he did at all. We decided to be public, and in order to do that, we need to be leaders, and leaders need to be trustworthy and visible, and that's how we did things. So,
are you the type? Do you fight the government regulations to try to get Canada to come into the global world of this industry, or do you just go where it's a little bit, most comfortable?
I don't fight anything. I build things that don't require regulations.
Okay.
So, for example, I build wallets, but I built wallets for years, but we never hold customer funds, so we were never regulated.
Right.
If we were a custodian holding people's funds, we would have been regulated.
Okay.
So I never did things, I never ran exchanges. So I never did things that would require me to be regulated. I always figured ways to navigate that in a more difficult way, but in a way that was more aligned with the ethos of what crypto promises, which is freedom, not being responsible for other people's stuff, not collecting you. So all these things we did was more difficult, but aligned better with crypto. Like I like to say, the things that are easy are generally probably not the best way to do things.
Okay.
And if you can figure out harder ways and do it, you're gonna not accumulate baggage along the way of, wow, I wish I didn't do that because, man, I have investors now that I don't align with. Or there's always repercussions of doing things the easy way, and I like to piece things together to the best way, regardless of how easy it is.
Right. I mean, probably have a few regrets, but probably very few.
No, I don't have any regrets.
None.
If I had regrets, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I really mean that. Yeah. Everything's a learning lesson. Everything was an experience that's taken me to where I am right now. And any small change of something would have been either learning a lesson lost, or would have changed things in a way that I might not be in this amazing position I'm in, which is full of gratitude and full of awe of living this and what I've done, and now how can I help others and be in service.
Are you the type of person that you're sleeping at night and all of a sudden ideas come in your head and you wake up
in the shower mostly?
So not sleeping, just when you're awake.
Sleeping, not really sleeping, but in the shower I get a lot. During the day I get a lot. My mind is always moving towards solving problems. It's always just literally trying to piece together the best solutions with things. And I'm a creative person. I've always got to create. That's one of my...
Micromanager?
I think micromanager is a loaded term that depends on certain things. I'm a generalist that's very good at many different things. There's nobody on my team that's more creative than I am. I utilize the skill sets of my team to piece together solutions that can create amazing things. Now, someone might say that's micromanaging, but someone probably doesn't understand certain things.
No,
my team understands the way that I work.
Yeah.
But I think micromanagement is almost like a black and white definition that doesn't leave room for a lot of gray area or assumptions about how the actual situation is.
Are you still working with a lot of the guys that you started, many, many years ago? Let's go back, 20 odd years.
I've got a person on my team that I've been working with since 2014. He's joined me back. I've got my 6 years with my CTO right now. But I'm trying to reduce actually the people and put it more towards automation rather than is actually dealing with people. I would rather have all the tools myself to build it with the most massive scale programs or projects myself without needing people.
Do you still collaborate with any of the original Ethereum group that you started with?
Yeah, there's a bit of collaboration with Charles, with Cardano. Haven't spoken with Vitalik in a while, Joe Lubin in a while. It's been a few years, but it's been 10 years since we started. It's been a long time, but there's no real collaboration. But we still build tools for Ethereum. We still build tools for Bitcoin. We build tools for a lot of different projects.
So where do you see, now with the AI and everything else and the directions going, where do you want to see yourself creating, or what do you want to do? What's your next big thought process? You're already doing quite a few things. You got a few more ideas that you want to tackle?
Yeah, so with the advent of AI, I can scale myself out now. So previously, as I was I've got a framework to solve problems called Perfect Form. It's a general problem-solving framework to solve micro and macro problems. It puts together stakeholders in a way that I can bring together solutions that everybody is winning on. It's a very interesting framework that I can now scale that out without needing me involved to provide a software platform that I can give to you, that you can put in the problem you have, and it's going to give you solutions there and execute on them in order to achieve optimum outcomes. So I want to give that out to the world so I can not have to do it myself personally. Yeah. And that's what I'm excited with AI, is the ability to build a platform and build something based on my framework to solve problems that I can give those tools to other people. And that's scalable. That can now build my generation of leaders and problem solvers without me actually having to be doing it very manually. So I'm really excited about how that can help scale out my mission, my personal mission, so I can sit back and see the fruits of my labor, hopefully.
I don't see you sitting back. I don't see you sitting back. I see you just, I don't see your type of person, your type of personality. You look like you always want to create, move forward.
I just want to create, but balance is also one of my 6 core values.
Your kids will do that to you.
That I've learned. Well, it's not even my kids. I've led a life of peaks and valleys where I've done so much that I become overwhelmed, and then I have to reset, and then I'm no good to anybody. So how can I maintain a certain consistency that is focused around balance and focused around, let's make sure I'm also being able to maintain the family commitments and this other stuff while still being able to do my great things. That's where technology can help me do that stuff. So I think I can exponentially achieve what I want in ways that I can still get my meditation and I can still do my chill things that I want to do, but still be creative when I want to be doing it, and not like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed because I got investors, which I don't have, or I'm overwhelmed because I've made these promises to this community, which I don't. How do I remove those things that lead to the things that cause me overwhelmingness that I don't want? So I want to have fun in what I'm doing. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. I want to see the fruits of my labor without becoming overwhelmed and creating states that I experienced in the past that I know I don't want, and I figured out a way that I can actually smoothly do things. So that's key for me as well.
You're a traveler?
I enjoy traveling. I usually go May and September to Europe to enjoy the post-summer and pre-summer things. I love. We're going to Italy in September for 10 days, early September. But mostly I'm a family person right now, and do my work and my family stuff. And
I find that, one thing I found with my little one, he's 11 now, but the world travels we have a Russian background, so it was Russia, Europe, the cruises and so forth. I found that to be one of the best educators that you could imagine. But obviously at the age of 1 and 2, it's
so I try to take my kids where we go. So we've had some really good trips.
And you'll find as as they get a little bit older, it actually becomes fun, because then they actually can understand.
It's fun right now, but it maybe becomes more fun. No,
it's okay.
Good.
No, you're at a great stage. Believe me when I tell you, you're at a great stage now. But when they get to that 5 to 15 age, okay, the 15-year-old will drive you out of your mind when they're teenagers. Just expect that and get ready for it. But you're going to find that travel is going to be, do them a world of good.
I'm optimistic that my 15-year-old's not going to drive me nuts. So we'll see. We'll see.
You're a dreamer, baby. You're a dreamer.
Yeah, exactly. A crazy dreamer, right?
No, that's what I love. Listen, cool. I find you as one of my ultimate disruptors. I have a few that. No, and that's I give you that as probably one of the best compliments that anybody could ever give you.
Thank you.
If it's not people like you, the world doesn't change.
My goal is to serve life and what I can do to improve life, and I think my mission is we need more people that you can trust, and we need more people that can figure out solutions that serve more people. And that's what I think I'm good at, and that's what I'm hoping that I can give to the world as a way to showcase that we have massive life challenges, and we need a team, a superhero team of problem solvers and leaders to solve those things, and I want to build that team.
What's your? We'll leave with this thought, because I know you've got a couple other appointments and everything, but let's leave on the note of AI. We know it's going to do a world of good. How much damage is it going to do? Will it be a good enough balance? I know it'll make the world a more positive place, but it's obviously going to have some damaging effects as well. What's your thoughts on that?
I think there's a lot of unknowns, and whether or not AI is going to be different than other technologies is to be seen. I like to be optimistic in anything I do, and I think it has a chance to create a lot more value than some of the smaller percentage negative things that it may cause. I don't know if I'm right or wrong with that, but I'm just going to keep building.
You're hopeful about it.
Doing things that provide people more freedom, provide people more trust away from institutional things that provide more control for people and more freedom for people. That's what I think I want to help provide, and I'm just really keen and eager to see what the future brings, because it's really an exciting time to be. I don't think it's going to be a more exciting time to be alive right now.
No, I agree with you. Things are changing on a daily basis where, you go back 20, 30, 40 years ago, and, a major change came in the world. If you think about it, major change every 5, 10 years maybe. And now we're finding just things are happening just like overnight. And, even with the political upheaval in the world, it's still this industry or this technology in this world is just going at crazy bounds and spaces. Guys, Anthony, I really appreciate you sitting down. I know you're busy as hell, and it's
giving me a chance to sober up a bit. Drinking my coffee.
Listen, well, that I'm not going to apologize for.
I'm not asking you to. I'm not asking you to.
But
I might be thanking you.
Yeah, you might be. I doubt it. Nobody ever thanks you for something like that.
Poor James here has been standing this whole time. Thank you, James.
Yeah, thank you. So, guys, follow Anthony. There's
not much to follow. I'm not very visible on social media, but there may be some. I'm trying to navigate the whole social media thing. I have a love-hate relationship with social media.
I'm like
the only thing that I ever want to put out is something that's going to provide some type of value to somebody, rather than trying to promote something for myself. So
listen, guys, there's a bunch of YouTube videos, interviews, and things like that. What comes out of Anthony's mouth, I'm telling you, take it as gospel, because he's telling you straight out. There's no agenda, not trying to sell you anything. He's a great leader in this industry. He's a great person himself.
And make your own decisions with things.
Yes.
I mean, even with me and what I do, I hope I'm a good representative of what I preach and what I not preach, but what I do. Yeah. And I really encourage people to make their own decisions, learn enough information to make those decisions. And I think the key is to not tell people what to do, but to actually showcase things on how you do things, and hopefully there's some value that people can get out of it.
I refer to young kids that they're lost. They're looking for a direction.
There's a lot of
with AI
these days.
Yeah, of course. AI, metaverse. They want to find some direction to go to. I mean, to me, I think AI is the largest growth. In what we're doing. Metaverse is going to be a big part of that. The stuff that you're doing. Obviously, but
Try to figure out what you're good at.
Yeah.
Try to hone in on something that you have a skill that's going to be useful to other people. Teams are made up of skill sets of people that form to create a well-balanced, efficient movement. And if you can figure out what you're good at and then take that and utilize that to help others and create value, I would first start out with what am I good at? What can I can provide a value that I can build, and then get out to communities and events and things and try to say, here's what I'm good at, and try to meet other people that can potentially also provide some skill sets that can form a great team to do some really value created things.
When you're putting a team together, when you're looking for somebody, or do you actually, let me ask you this question. Do you actually go out looking for somebody, or all of a sudden you meet somebody and say, you know what, I got to have this guy, or I have to have this girl. This is the type of person I want.
It's different. Again, my goal is to reduce the amount of people I need on my team.
Right.
Just because it just creates a lot less logistics of things that I mean, it's challenging having employees. It's challenging to navigate certain things in the regulatory space. So I always try to negate that need. So it depends. You see a spark from someone, or you see a certain energy. I was speaking with a gentleman from Ukraine that came recently here, and he was able to come because he was 17, but his family's all back there, and he's looking for a way to continue his, advance his skills. And I'm like, hey, maybe there's something I can do to help you to figure out what you want to do. So first, it's a seed of inquisitive knowledge, just being humble, getting involved in an area that you're interested in, meeting people that can complement what you do, and then letting the ideas flow towards something that you're going, you know what, I think I can get into this thing, and then where's the full vision, and then working your way towards that. So,
well, I'll describe Anthony in a few words. Yesterday we were at Landon's
the Web3
the Web3 TO guys, and please support those guys. You're a big supporter. Almost everybody in that room came out of that after your little talk and said, that's kind of the coolest, most laid back guy they've ever heard. That was
I love to hear that feedback.
It wasn't so much as, oh, he was exciting, he was you're jumping around, song and dance,
but
everybody sat there and just came out. And these are people that, by the way, have never heard you or never met you, and we were 50, 75 people in the room, and I'm telling you, I met a bunch of them. I was speaking to quite a few that I met, and they were like, you got a bunch of new fans, by the way. I promise you. And it wasn't because you sold them something. It was just they really enjoyed the way you come out, very laid back. And, here's this very successful, we won't use the B word, but very successful guy that he doesn't have to be here. He's here. He's not selling anything. He's there.
Brandon was doing what I was doing 10 years ago, doing those types of events. And the community building side is so important. And it was a free event that he was putting on. There's a lot of work and energy that goes into those things. So I've got a lot of respect for him. Yeah,
we met a few years ago when he was starting out the Web3 TO, and he's built that, and I've met a bunch of them from there, so I try to support them as well. Guys, Anthony, Iorio, Anjami, Manja, Manja. Guys,
I got to tell you, I lean closer to my British side, though. I do. I don't think I'll ever run an Italian car.
The Brits, they're all nuts as well. I spent 15 years overseas, so
we're crazy.
Crazy disruptive. Hey, listen. You want to put that on my shirt here?
Here's to the crazy ones.
Here's to the crazy ones.
Yeah. Cheers,
guys.
Cheers.
Be crazy. Be disruptive.
Thanks, James.
And this is from Futurist 2024.
Cheers.